Dear psychiatrists, dear psychiatrists, I would really appreciate that kind of training received in school, you would remember it when breaking news to me. So I'm going to use myself as an example. In 2015, when my psychiatrist was informing me about the condition, which at the time he thought was schizophrenia, he thought I was having schizophrenia. He just didn't understand what a life-altering statement that was for me. To me, that was a death sentence because my knowledge about mental health was very little. This was also difficult for me to accept. Apart from the fact that he didn't break the news well, the way he even said it and made it look like, this is what you have, this is your prescription, take it. And even when my mother asked questions like, will she be able to go to church? Will she be able to go back to school? He was like, no, for now, she can't go to church, she can't do this. He probably thought I shouldn't go to church because I would be drowsy in church due to the medication. So at that point, sitting there, I was just thinking about how all my other friends who have their lives going on for them, they have their lives actually going on for them, and me, I sit here and you are telling me this is the condition I have and I need to take medication to be well every day. It was very hurtful. So I would have rather preferred if he told me what the condition was, the definition of the condition, explain to me what the condition was about. And I see that that gap in a lot of when you are in Ghana, especially when you go to see a doctor, not even a psychiatrist or a psychologist, and you tell them your symptoms, they go and maybe probably run your blood work and all that, you come back, they are just writing a prescription. They don't tell you, Miss Esinam, we saw your results and you seem to be having some malaria parasite. They don't tell you anything. All you know is when you get to the pharmacy, you are buying some medication and you sort of realize that it's a malaria medication or something. So, probably I have malaria. They do not tell you unless you ask. They want you to ask all the time. And I feel like sometimes people are in different levels of shock, pain, anger. Before I start the video, I just want to give this special appreciation to all psychiatrists, all psychologists, all therapists, all mental health nurses, all professionals in the mental health space. You people, you are really, really, really valuable people. I just want to specially thank those who have invested in my mental health journey and road to recovery. I always see that when you see me standing there, just look at me like your investment, you invested in me, and that's why it's benefiting the whole world. So thank you very much. I just want to acknowledge all those who sacrifice. There are things that mental health professionals do that they don't get acknowledged for. I know people who have personally bought medications for me for free, over the years, over this 8-year period, and I know they've done same for other people. I know people who have paid, they've seen patients and clients for free because they didn't have the money to pay for it. There are so many things they do that they don't get the credit for, and I know God who sees in secret will bless them. So this video that I'm coming to do, I'm not attacking psychiatrists, but when you love someone and you know they can do better, that's the essence of this video. So nobody should come and say Esna has done video, she's attacking psychiatrists, or the psychiatrists who see this video, who know me, who take care of me, who think that I'm using their personal, whatever happened with it. No, this is my 8-year journey, so it doesn't have anything to do with you if you know you did not do what's like. And besides, we are all not perfect. I won't say I've been the best client or patient over the years. We all learn, we all evolve, we learn one thing or another. But at the end of the day, the love I have for all of you is very deep. Like all the mental health professionals who have helped me all over the world. Like I really love you guys, and I hope this would also help other patients and clients to learn how to advocate for themselves, to learn that they also have rights, and to also learn that this is a journey which requires team effort. So don't just leave it in the hands of your doctors to just figure everything out. You should be involved so that at the end of the day, when you are celebrating, you will celebrate. Where's my glass? I don't have a glass, but you raised a glass like so proudly, so victoriously, because you knew you were involved. So make sure you watch the video to the end. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And I've seen that we are about to hit 700 subscribers, which we should have done long time ago. But people do not want to subscribe. People do not. Oh, please help us so that the message of mental health will go all across Ghana. That's all I want. Like, the more people learn about mental health, the more conversations will be normalized. And stigma, this stigma, discrimination, you will be reduced. We'll fight you, and everybody will be happy and healthy. Thank you so much. Please keep watching. Hi guys, welcome back to the mental health quarters. Today I'm alone in the quarters and I am the one visiting. I have something very dear on my heart which I've always wanted to share. I don't know, I'm sure many of you do not know this, but this is my 8th year in my road to recovery and my mental health journey. I'm sure most of you know I have lived experience with bipolar disorder, and there are so many things that I've always wanted to talk about, which I did not have the strength and the boldness to talk about when I was newly diagnosed with this condition, bipolar disorder. So today I'll be talking about I think I would like to call it a letter or a note I'm writing to psychiatrists, because most of you do not know this, or many of you do know now that May is Mental Health Awareness Month. We are trying to create awareness about mental health. So there have been so many events, and I've also done a lot of speaking engagements and webinars and stuff like that just to create awareness this month. But today I want to talk about something that I wish I can talk about so that psychologists, psychiatrists, nurses will be able to learn. It's my way of also creating awareness for them to learn, so that when they are dealing with us clients / patients, they would know that these things are also very, very important. So let's get started. When you are breaking news to someone who is newly diagnosed with a mental health condition, or you are breaking the news that, oh, SNM, you have bipolar disorder, you have schizophrenia, I would really appreciate it if you took the time to understand that the news you are breaking to me is very heavy. I know most of the time now, let me explain that. Most of the time, doctors and even psychologists, psychiatrists, nurses, all of them are taught how to break bad news to patients, their families, their friends, their relatives, because it is like, bad news is bad news. It's not going to be easy for everyone. Everybody's responses and reactions are going to be different. So for me, I'm going to give you a little bit of a throwback. In 2015, my first psychiatrist, he just like he saw me for a while and diagnosed me with schizophrenia and told me, oh, Esinam, now you have to be on medication. And I was telling him that, oh, so does it mean I can't go to church again? He was like, yeah, you can't go to church for some time. I can't do this. Oh, you can't do this. Like, he didn't even realize that the news he was breaking to me was very heavy for me, because at the time, like, people may not know this, but at 21-year-old me, to me, I felt like a kid. Already, I had gone through the loss of a beloved relationship, which I really loved. And also now I'm being told that I have to live with a mental health condition, which I barely know about. And also, none of my friends have this condition. And apart from the fact that none of my friends have this condition, you are telling me I need to take medication daily to function. It wasn't a very pleasant news. I would have wanted my dear psychiatrist to break this news in a way for me to understand that the news I'm breaking to you is not a death sentence. I'm just telling you that this is the new development. And I, as your psychiatrist, I'm going to work together with you, SNM, to make sure that you achieve the goals you have always dreamt of. This is not the end of the road for you. So, dear psychiatrist, when you are breaking news to people, like, maybe sometimes what happens is that maybe you diagnose the person the first time, oh, you have schizophrenia, and then the next time I'm telling the person of their new diagnosis. Don't think, oh, I told them before they had schizophrenia, so they were chill about it. So now as I'm telling them their new diagnosis, they'll take it differently. You have to understand that we are also people. We are also human beings just like you. And so when you're breaking such news, for a lot of people, this news is sort of like tragic. Like, even though nobody has died, it feels like death. It feels like grief. So please be patient with us. Make us understand that this even though this is difficult, you can get through this. And you have to understand that not everybody is going to like be very happy about the news. And so if as a patient I'm very aggressive, I'm violent, I'm not happy, you should be able to understand the place from which I am coming from. So guys, I started recording this video and I had no idea that the video had stopped recording, because I did not, when I'm recording alone, the mistake I've been making is I do not put a mirror behind my camera so that it can let me know if the recording has stopped or not. I have learned my lesson and I'm doing that today. So in front of me is my camera, my mirror is at the back. So I'm making sure that I watch the mirror and the camera very well so that I do not lose the footage, because yesterday I spoke and I spoke and I spoke only for me to realize that I had only spoken for 6 minutes instead of probably 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm really sorry about that. If my face looks probably a little different, that's because this video was recorded on 2 different days. But that is not the most important thing. The most important thing that I'm here to still talk about, dear psychiatrist. So as I was saying, dear psychiatrist, breaking the news to me as a newly diagnosed client, I would really appreciate it if you took your time and broke the news to me gently. Gently is a rather relative word, but every doctor and nurse is taken through training on how to break sad and tragic news to families, friends, relatives of the patients or whatever. And so I would really appreciate that kind of training received in school, you would remember it when breaking news to me. So I'm going to use myself as an example. In 2015, when my psychiatrist was informing me about the condition, which at the time he thought was schizophrenia, he thought I was having schizophrenia. He just didn't understand what a life-altering statement that was for me. To me, that was a death sentence, because my knowledge about mental health was very little. This was also difficult for me to accept. I was, apart from the fact that he didn't break the news well, the way he even said it and made it look like, oh, this is what you have, this is your prescription, take it. And even when my mother asked questions like, oh, will she be able to go to church, will she be able to go back to school, he was like, oh no, for now she can't go to church, she can't do this, she can't. So at that point, sitting there, I was just thinking about how all my other friends who have their lives going on for them, like they have their lives actually going on for them, and me, I sit here and you are telling me this is the condition I have and I need to take medication to be well every day. It was very hurtful. So I would have rather preferred if he told me what the condition was, the definition of the condition, explain to me what the condition was about. And I see that that gap in a lot of like when you are in Ghana, especially when you go to see a doctor, not even a psychiatrist or a psychologist, and you tell them your symptoms, they go and maybe probably run your blood work and all that, you come back, they are just writing a prescription. They don't tell you, oh, Miss Estenam, we saw your results and you seem to be having like some malaria parasite. They don't tell you anything. All you know is when you get to the pharmacy, you are buying some medication and you sort of realize that it's a malaria medication or something. So, oh, probably I have malaria. They do not tell you unless you ask. They want you to ask all the time. And I feel like sometimes people are in different levels of shock, pain, anger. So as they are sitting there, like, it is better you like break things down for the person and for the person to leave your consultation room angry and in denial. For years, like for the past 8 years, I've counseled a lot of people who are like, they are in denial after a psychiatrist probably told them that, oh, you have a mental health condition. They are in a long season of denial because that day when they were being diagnosed was the beginning of the denial. Because if this psychiatrist had explained what this condition was and how other people have this condition, they are living their regular lives, and also encourage the patient to go and read and learn more about the condition, I can assure you that the denial would not be that bad. Because I have realized that for people to be in denial, it starts from the consultation room, where the news was broken, how it was broken, and how like there's no sense of hope as they sit in that chair. So dear psychiatrists, please and please and please encourage us when we come to your consultation room. Don't make it look like we are just another number, patient, code, client, whatever, and that's it. You tell me what I have and you expect me to be chill about it. You expect me to understand. You expect me to have everything figured out. Because for some families, apart from the fact that it's hard on the patient or the client, it's also hard for the family because this is like a very huge adjustment for them. So you should please and please and please not forget that we are also people. We are also worthy of your attention and care. Let's move to the next one. Dear psychiatrists, do not be in a hurry to write the next prescription. Like this one, it's not mic drop, pen drop. Hey, like I understand that you have clients, dear psychiatrists. I understand that you are maybe probably seeing a lot of people that day and you must be probably tired from the previous day's work and like you're just tired. You're human too, I get it. But where, dear psychiatrist, I come into the consultation room, I sit down, you ask me probably for my name or my name is already in the system, you ask me the questions. And I'm saying the questions because for someone like me who has been going for review for probably 8 years, I sort of know the particular questions psychiatrists ask, which is part of their training to make sure that you are doing well. It's part of monitoring and all that. When you ask me those questions like, how is my sleep? Am I doing well? How is my relationship? Blah, blah, blah. And then you do not ask me a few questions outside those questions. And you are just in a hurry to write my next prescription. I do not feel seen. I do not feel heard. I feel like I'm just like someone you are just in a hurry to get rid of so that you can close your day. Some of these things, they are very if you continually meet a particular psychiatrist who does that for a very long period of time, you do not, like, dear psychiatrist, I wouldn't be looking forward to my next appointments with you. And even when I come next time and something is really going on in my life, dear psychiatrist, there's a high tendency that I wouldn't want to open up about that, because even when I was coming, you were not really interested in my business. Now that I have business going on for me, like things are happening, there's drama in my life, how sure am I that, dear psychiatrist, when I open up to you, you will listen to me? So, dear psychiatrist, please and please and please, like, I know that you are busy, but please try to seem interested and engaged in our conversations, and try to ask a few questions that are outside the list of questions you regularly ask. Don't say it's the job of the psychologist, it's the job of the therapist, they are the ones who delve deeper. No, I'm also seeing you, I'm also your client. If it wasn't that important, why is it that I'm seeing you too? It's very, very important. Yes, psychiatrists, share stories of healing with me. Yeah. And understand that the person I am sitting in front of you in the consultation room today, I am capable of being more tomorrow, and I'm even capable of transforming. Yeah, let me explain that. You know, when I was newly diagnosed, one of the things I found really hard to accept and realize that I wasn't the only one. At the time, this was 2015, mental health wasn't, like, knowledge about mental health was pretty low. Not a lot of people knew about mental health, including myself. So I felt like, oh, apart from the vagrants on the streets, I am the only person who has a mental health condition. Like, when I even go for review appointments, I wasn't seeing people my age come in. Usually I will see older people. So I felt like, oh, by now I'm the youngest person in Ghana who has a mental health condition. And my doctors too, I'm not saying all of them. This one, I think it's a personal note to my first psychiatrist. He didn't really share any stories of hope and encouragement to me. I'm not saying mention your clients whom you have cared for. Just, you can make it anonymous, or just tell me somebody. Because once I can relate to somebody's story and the story resonates with me, I get encouraged. I get strength for today and hope for tomorrow. But where you make it look like I'm the first person you are seeing with this condition, and you learned it in medical school, and this was what you learned, and on the ground you haven't seen much, and you make me feel so broken. Dear psychiatrist, I would really, really appreciate it if you would even tell me that I can be more than I am today. My psychologists and psychiatrists in the past, Auntie May and Dr. Jima, one of the things they helped me to see was like, it's like I felt so broken, so like disheveled. Like, I didn't even used to look good when I go for my appointments. I come in wretched. I go out wretched. But their message never changed. The message they were always giving me and projecting was constant. They were constantly telling me that, Esinam, one day you are going to be fine. You are going to share your story with others. People are going to be inspired. People are going to learn from you. Me, at that time, I didn't even know I'll be in the mental health community doing any kind of advocacy. All I knew was I'm just a few months, like, it's just left. I just felt like maybe God is just protecting and sustaining me, but when that protection ends, like, I'm going to be on the streets as a vagrant. But they kept on, including my family, they kept on encouraging me. And sometimes it comes, you get more, like, you are able to believe more when your psychologist or psychiatrist, you tell me about somebody else's story. It makes me know that, oh, if someone also came to see you and today they are fine, oh, then I'm in good hands. In fact, I'm in very, very good hands. I do not need to be afraid. I do not need to be worried. There's hope for me. So, dear psychiatrists, please share stories like this. I do not say mention people's names, so just share stories. You do not need to include names. Just like make me realize that, there are other people like you that I see, and they were fine. They became fine, and my transformation is possible. Like, I remember for a whole year I was in denial from like 2015 to 2016, and I remember Dr. May and Dr. Jima. One of the things, like, it didn't, like, I was going deeper and deeper in denial. When they advised me to take my medication, I will not mind them. I won't listen to them. And instead of them to maybe probably get angry or frustrated with me, their message never changed. It was always constant. And they kept on believing in something, like, I don't know. I just feel like they have probably seen other people, or God even gave them the patience to deal with me and the grace to deal with me, because they saw something that was bigger here. And I'm glad, because had they given up on me, I wouldn't be doing what I am doing today. I would have been a statistic, and I would just not be able to help people. So I am glad that they invested in my mental health, and God invested in my mental. Everybody that invested in me, today I'm here, and we are all benefiting from the investment. Dear psychiatrists, dear psychiatrists, you, please try to return my calls and messages, and even try to do so when you can. I understand you are probably seeing so many clients. In fact, maybe the hospital that I come and see you at is one of the many hospitals you go around to see clients, and I'm like, maybe patients are 900 and something. But please, it means a lot when you do take time to return calls and messages. I know you have a life outside your regular office hours, but when you are available, just reply the message or let me know when I can call. Because what happens is that, dear psychiatrist, when we talk in your consultation room and I am inspired and I'm all pumped up and you give me the meds, I feel good, and I go to the real world, dear psychiatrist, sometimes the real world, the streets are very, very, very hard. Like, it's not as easy as maybe in the consultation room when we talked about it felt. So when I go into the real world and I'm encountering a challenge or something, it will really mean a lot to me if you take time to listen to me. Because personally, when a psychiatrist ignores my message, when I say ignore, I mean you blue tick me on WhatsApp. Like, it means you actually read the message but you didn't mind me, or you read it and you closed the app, or you read it and you looked. Like, when you ignore like that, the message it immediately sends me is, I'm a nuisance, I'm not important, I'm worrying you, like I'm annoying. Like, you don't verbalize it, but that's it. Me, I have a friend that told me she's not going to like work with a particular doctor anymore because he doesn't know how to return calls or reply. He does, like, he's very busy. And no offense to this doctor, like, I understand if you are busy, you are busy. But at least try so that we see that you are also there for us. Or maybe refer me to somebody else who you think can help. Because sometimes you never know like what somebody is going through. Maybe you see me in your consultation room all the time looking nice, looking glammed up and all that. So when I'm telling you what I'm going through, you belittle it, or you don't take it so seriously. You never know. So please do take your time to reply messages, or just let me know if you're not available so that I can just understand and wait for you. Yes. Then the last thing, I can't wait to write this one. Yeah. Dear psychiatrists, listen to me too. And I mean actively listen. Dear psychiatrists, please listen. I'm saying this with so much passion because there's a high tendency most of the time when people come to the hospital, they come with their family, their friends, relatives. There's a high tendency for a psychiatrist to prioritize what the family is saying over what your client is saying, because sometimes we feel like the client is maybe like not speaking the truth, or not even mentally like well. Like, you feel the patient is so mentally ill that anything they say doesn't really make sense. So let me just take what the person's friends and family is saying. At the end of the day, it starts becoming a pattern, a routine, and a habit that even now when I come to the hospital and I'm actually fine, you do not allow me to advocate for myself. I've had friends who have told me that they go to the hospital and their parents, maybe their father or mother or auntie or uncle, said, "Psychiatrist, I want you to put this person on admission." And then the psychiatrist also, like, that's it. I'm not saying that, like, those ones, like, I know there's no, like, how do I say it? I'm not saying that the psychiatrist wasn't planning on admitting a person already and it all just happens that when the parents said that too. No, what I mean is that when you do stuff like that without any explanation, it makes it look like what the person's father or mother said is what was taken, and you, the clients or the patients, like, no one is listening to you. There have been times where personally I have been on admission and I do not feel like, me, I'm the type that when you don't make me feel seen and heard, I will just, like, when I really have something like legit to say, I may not say it, or I just bottle it up and one day it just explodes. And then I may not be the nicest, like, because it's like I'm just venting. So when you actively listen to me at that point, it helps me not to bottle up. It helps me not to feel frustrated with the system. It helps me to realize that, oh, we are working together as a team. Because at the end of the day, me, when I look at my mental health journey and my road to recovery, I see it as team effort and teamwork. I did not get here today because I did it all by myself. No, it starts from God. It starts from my psychiatrists, psychologists, nurses, my family, my friends, everybody. So when somebody, like, I start realizing that, oh, it's team effort, and then, like, I'm just sidelined and you people are just doing your own thing, and you don't even realize that as a person I also have rights to, like, I actually have human rights. and you are not respecting it, and I'm not treated with dignity, you don't expect me to come to the hospital next time so excited, so ready to cooperate and all that. That's why sometimes doctors will complain that this patient is a difficult person. What happened and the patient became a difficult person? Sometimes you just have to ask yourself that question, or ask the patient, what happened? Because me, something happened to me in 2021 and I was actually angry. And I kept it to myself. The next time I went for my review appointment, I met a psychiatrist who actually wanted to listen. And I told him everything. And he apologized on behalf of the hospital and for all the people who were involved for what happened to me. Whether the apology was from his heart or not, like when I say, because I don't know, but I felt this guy listened to me, like, and I accepted the apology and I just let go. Sometimes psychiatrists forget that we are actually, aside from the condition maybe interrupting with our daily lives, we are also human first, like way before the condition. We are human. So certain things, when we come and it starts looking as if we are not part of that, like we are not involved in our road to recovery, oh, you are just making things difficult for all of us in the, like, to make sure that I get better.